Welcome to VCTV. Hi, I'm Kristina and I'm here at the International Startup Festival and I'm here with Sunil Sharma from Extreme Startups. Nice to see you, Sunil.
Nice to see you again, Kristina.
So what's really exciting is you're our matchmaker. Sunil recently put us in touch with the Hatch out of India, and they're this exciting incubator accelerator for startups there, and we now have a strategic partnership going on. Thank you so much for putting everything together.
It's my pleasure. I'm excited that you're taking the initiative to continue a dialogue which began with Prajat coming all the way to Toronto to take part in one of our startup events and to see the companies that we had at Extreme Startups. And thanks to you, we're continuing that dialogue, and we're excited to be entering into a very meaningful partnership with the Hatch.
So Prajat and the Hatch are working on some very exciting initiatives out in India. They've got a marvelous ecosystem going on over there, and so do we here in North America. So what would be one of the top items that you'd like them to know about us?
Yeah, well, I think you're absolutely right. I think, India and Canada share a lot in common. There's a lot of synergies between our countries on a business, on a commercial basis, and now in the startup, the early stage tech company development. And so the idea is that Canadian companies can really take advantage of the strengths that are inherent in India, but maybe not fully well understood by entrepreneurs at this stage of their companies. So we want to be able to go and, of course, take part in that massive market in India. We think that we can reciprocate very well by encouraging Indian companies to come to Canada and get to know some of the very sophisticated corporations that are their potential clients. So those are the lessons that we want to try to build with this relationship and partnership between Extreme Startups and the Hatch.
Do you see a growing interest of idea backers in North America looking towards India?
There's certainly an interest. I mean, people would be foolish not to be interested in India from a commercial perspective. I think at the startup level, there's not necessarily as much activity yet as there should be, and so and justifiably, it's a very daunting task for a young, small company that's potentially not very well funded and not really sophisticated at the rules of international business to pick up and go to India and expect to do meaningful work. So the idea is that if by collaborating with an accelerator that has a lot of the similar look and feel of an accelerator that like ours, Extreme Startups in Canada, it will allow a company to go to that market very efficiently, work in a place that's very familiar to them, and quickly understand how to do business in that country, meet the right people, meet the right partners, and the same goes true for Indian startups. We're going to be very good at hosting and helping them grow in the North American market, and Toronto's a great beachhead to try to build North American-centered businesses from.
In terms of strengthening the bridge between the Indian and the North American market, do you see at one point that perhaps there'll be some type of accelerator incubator that would not only have some type of exchange program, but actually be a program where they can actually develop their startups between the two continents?
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of models. In fact, there are some accelerators that are opening campuses in other countries, and I'm sure there's a lot of strategy and reasons why that will make a lot of sense. We're going to start with a partnership and encourage a dialogue and an exchange of people, simply using internet technology to do interactions, to do Skype calls, to expose investors from both parts of the world to startups from each part of the world is a smart move. And also to just encourage an understanding of each market, and of course encourage an actual physical presence in each country. Having an office in a place like Mumbai or Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai is great, but not necessarily something that someone would undertake on their own, simply moving from a place like Canada. But having the ability to use facilities and offices that are in the right place with the right people can be very smart. We're only a flight or two away from each other. It is an effort and a commitment, but I think more and more startups are ready to make that commitment.
Are there some misnomers we might want to clarify about some of our Canadian idea backers and startup systems for anybody who's watching overseas?
I don't know about misnomers, but I mean, I don't know if it's completely well understood how vibrant the startup scene is in Canada to people from outside of Canada. I mean, Canada is a trading nation filled with a lot of very smart people, with very good universities and an educational system that's producing a lot of talented people. And it's a country with a lot of great ideas and a lot of companies starting to take flight. And that may not be fully understood by people from maybe other parts of the world and when they think of what Canada is, but certainly certainly that's the component of Canada that we're going to try to build upon. And of course, we have great help in India. Canada has a fantastic High Commission and a network of consulates throughout the country that are very trade-focused and very good at connecting businesses and ideas and people. And so they're part of this relationship as well. Our High Commissioner himself is quite committed to this relationship, and we know that this is going to be useful in the overall dialogue and the overall commitment that both countries have made to do more commercial work together. And the other thing I'll add is Canada is very familiar to Indians. I mean, I myself have an Indian background. My parents immigrated from India a long time ago, but we are one of the most active immigrant centered partners. There's a lot of there's a lot of immigration to Canada from India. And therefore, there's a lot of knowledge about how the country works and what the opportunities are in India. So we want to exploit that inherent base and take it to the level where startups can build companies in both countries.
Well, we're very privileged to be exposed to this kind of richness of knowledge and to have leaders like you at the helm who put everything together. And thank you so much for introducing us to Prajak. It's been wonderful speaking with him. He's very much the visionary as well. We're looking forward to working with the Hatch and with you as well. Thanks so much, Sunil, and we'll be continuing our conversation.
Okay, thanks, Kristina.